Hey, I want to talk about proof of weak hands again. Um, as we were saying last time, this thing is an interesting little experiment, and it is very interesting. Okay, this thing is a smart contract on the Ethereum network. It's managed by the machines. Okay, not by people, and the contract holds ETH, which is the currency of Ethereum. Right? It's not Bitcoin. It's Ether. Now, um, this is just such an interesting concept when you really think about it, and it's like a social experiment as well. It's like a game slash social experiment. Um, it's got a whole community behind it that's growing. And it's like a microcosm of the crypto market in a way because, as the price of Ether goes up and down, so does the value of your ETH, right, which you get back in the form of, they call them dividends in the system. I don't really like that speak because I think of them more like rewards, okay, for holding the P3D token. Okay, when you hold this P3D token, you generate rewards, okay, and the rewards are really cool because whenever somebody buys into the smart contract, or cashes out of the smart contract, there's a 10% penalty that gets deducted from their amount. Okay, their buy-in or their buyout amount, and it goes back into the smart contract. It gets distributed equally amongst all the members. Okay, so there's your rewards. Now, you say, well, wait a minute, I'm getting deducted 20%. Well, while you're in the system, you're also earning the rewards from when other people do this. So it rewards holding the token, okay? If you hold the token long enough, you can offset that 20%. And, if you hold long enough, hopefully, you end up ahead of the game. It rewards holding the token, not the weak hands, right? The weak hands are the people who sell early, like in the regular crypto market, the people who dump their holdings out of panic or fear. Well, in this case, you're mining the weak hands, right? Think about it. Instead of mining a blockchain for proof of work or something like that to get rewards, you're mining the weak hands. When people sell out for whatever reason, their hands are weak, they sell their positions, the remaining token holders are rewarded. Okay? That's a very interesting and powerful concept. Okay? So you can, and also as the price of the token goes up and down, so does the value of your holdings. So, I mean, there's a lot in it. This isn't a guaranteed thing, right? But no one can guarantee what you're going to make or not make in this, just like in the regular crypto market, nobody can guarantee it. But it's a very interesting concept, and it's actually proven to be sort of a safe haven during this bear market. Um, let's see, this has been a chart of the recent value of the P3D token. As you can see, it's got its own bit of volatility built in. You can see there was a steady March rise up there until a few days ago when there was a massive selling. And even though the value of the token dropped as a result, there were a lot of rewards generated, which were distributed to people in the smart contract who did not sell out. The strong hands benefited from the weak hands. So, of course, the value of your token, your overall buy-in may have dropped during that time. But, eventually you see the green candle comes back, and there's some more red candles, and there's some more green, and right now there's a little red. Just looking at what I have, and I didn't put a lot into this. Never put in what you can't afford. This is a gamble, right? Not going to try to mislead anyone, that's for sure. I only put in like well, here I've got the 26, a little more than 26.5 P3D tokens. Uh, yeah, we're not talking big money here, folks, that I put into this. But some people put a lot in. My rewards right now, because I also had a buy-in through my masternode link, my are around 14 P3D tokens if I reinvest them. Your rewards are rewarded in Ether. You can see I 0.2344 Ether. Now, last night it was worth over $100 US. It's a little less today. The price of Ether went down a little bit overnight from where it was last night. I think that's pretty much why. Now, when you reinvest your rewards, you also pay the 10% penalty. That goes back into the smart contract. But if you withdraw your rewards without reinvesting them, there's no penalty. You just pay the regular normal Ether network fees. Now, you're going to need Metamask. You see there's a little browser extension called Metamask, which is you have to install that on Chrome, and you need My Ether Wallet. I recommend My Ether Wallet, something like that. You need a hardware wallet to hold your. It's like a software wallet on your machine to hold your Ether. You can't do this from an exchange account. You can't do this from a Coinbase account or something like that. So basically, the formula here is you go up to My Ether Wallet. You could Google that and find the correct site. You create your keys, your private keys. You write them on paper. You save them. Put them someplace safe. This puts the power of your holdings in your own hands, which you have to be careful. There's no company here. There's no one that's going to save you if you lose your keys. And that's the whole thing of crypto. Like, you can have $10 million in whatever cryptocurrency is stored in a wallet like this. If you lose your keys, there's no one to get them back for you. There's no restarting your account. The email thing, lost password. There's nothing like that, okay? So that's the scary part of this stuff for a lot of people. So, but you're going to need a software type wallet like that, which is your stuff is stored and encrypted on your computer. You're going to need to save those magic words, those like 12 words or whatever that it gives you. And you're also going to have to set the same thing up for the you basically pair it with Metamask. There's instructions how to do that. It's not difficult. And then you set up a password for Metamask. And then once you have that combination, the Proof of Weak Hands website will basically authenticate you based on Metamask. And when you send or receive your ETH to the site, it's done through the Metamask, like My Ether Wallet combination. This may be too complex for some people. I don't know. But that's what crypto is. Okay, so learn it. Don't be so afraid of technology. Even if it takes you a week, learn it. Learn it. Okay, and it's also good to learn how to store your coins and tokens on something other than an exchange. Because look, if these exchanges ever go down, so do all your holdings, right? They're basically holding your private keys for you, the way a bank would, right? When you have your own wallets, you're in control. But with that comes responsibility to not lose your keys. Or you lose access to your funds forever. So that's how that works. I mean, there's a guy out there who has a hard drive or something. He lost his keys or whatever. He's got millions of dollars of Bitcoin. Can't access them because he was careless. All right. So anyway, basically that's how you do that. And then you can look up your rewards and your holdings at any time on this site. You can see that it says you when someone sold or buys or sells. It's flashed on this site. So go through my masternode link that I have near or below this video, so you can get into here and see what this is all about. the main website. When you click decentralized exchange, it'll take you here. But again, you need Metamask and you basically need an account. You need a buy-in to be able to see data like this. Otherwise, it's just going to be blank. So anyway, this is a very, very interesting concept. It's like a social experiment, and the lead developer on this is really cool. I truly believe this person just wanted to go down this route of creating an alternative. And this really is an alternative to the bulls and the bears and the regular crypto market. You can take any cryptocurrency, convert it to Ether, and park it here. And based on the volatility within this little ecosystem, you can be generating real returns for yourself, even while the regular overall market is stagnant. Now, the overall market does control or play into the price of Ether. So, like if Ether crashes, you can't protect against that. As far as your earnings go, and if people cash out of this system a lot, the price of your P3 tokens go down. So you are subject to market fluctuations even within this ecosystem. But it's been very interesting and lucrative on its own. Okay, on its own. It's definitely worth getting into with some, I would say, play money to see what this is all about. But there's people putting 6, 10, 20, 30 ETH into this thing. I mean, people are dumping big money into this. Here you can see, people are buying. There you go. Someone bought 125 P3D tokens for over 2 ETH. People buy, it's really, you can buy a little bit too. It doesn't have to be a lot. I think if you buy at least 5 P3D tokens, you generate a masternode link, and then you could share that out. And anybody who buys through your masternode link, you get like 3% of their buy-in in ETH gets generated in rewards to your account. So that's interesting. There's definitely a reward for getting people to consider going into this this novel concept. So I'm not going to disguise the fact that I'm shilling here. I'm definitely shilling, but I believe in it. I wouldn't shill something that I totally don't believe in. It wouldn't happen because or that I'm not involved in myself, because I just don't do things that way. I need to be comfortable with the concept. Now, can this thing fail? Yeah, any system can fail. The good thing, this thing is run by an Ether smart contract, dapp. It's very popular. It's an interesting game/social experiment. It's done like a decentralized exchange. They use this like metaphor of an exchange where you're basically, people are exchanging these tokens and generating volatility and rewards based on the rules. And it's rewarding the strong hands that hold, buy in and hold. And when people buy in or sell out, the weak hands sell. The people who hold, who are in the system, are rewarded. It's really a fair thing. It's not, people talk about things like pyramid. It's more like you take a pyramid the regular way, and then you take a pyramid and you turn it upside down, you connect them in the center like an hourglass. Basically, the people who sell in, who buy in at the bottom and who sell out at the top, are rewarding the people in the middle who are holding. It's a very, very interesting, powerful concept. And it was basically created to, it's like a reliable alternative to the regular crypto market, where you could park a certain amount of your holdings and still generate a decent return, even while the overall market is tanking, as it has been. And this thing could even be even better when the regular market continues. So I strongly recommend giving this a try. Again, don't do anything with funds that you can't afford to lose. because there was some volatility in this, but the volatility actually is your friend in a way. That's the only way I could say it. This thing really is a brilliant concept. People who are comparing this to like these lending platforms, this is not that. It's not. I was never tempted to get into those things. Those things were centralized, run by people who were plotting exit scams to run away with your money. This thing is run by a smart contract. The people only run the website that is around it or fronts it, like this. The actual smart contract is a smart contract on the Ethereum network. The machines run it, and that's the whole idea here, right? And the people involved with creating this really, they're involved. They don't have any preference. There's no pre-sale. The only thing is, they started it so they got in really early. But unlike a pyramid thing, it doesn't matter so much. I mean, yeah, if you got in when the token was worth nothing, of course, and you held through the whole thing, your token's worth a lot more. But that's just math. So give this thing a whirl if you want to. This thing is definitely, I think, worth giving a look-see. I'm happy that I got into it, and I recommend anybody give this thing a try. It's a brilliant concept. I mean, I just can't say it enough. It's the most popular dapp right now. If you go to the site, you can see people buying what they're buying and selling. It flashes on the site in these little green or black boxes. It's an active environment right now, and I only see it getting more active. And like you said, you don't have to fear people selling, right? Like these red candles. Of course, the P3D token value goes down, but it'll eventually come back up. But in the meantime, it's generating all these massive rewards for people in the system. So, as long as you're not looking to sell your holdings of P3D, you could even just withdraw your ETH for the time being. You could technically join this thing with however many ETH you're going to join it with, and then sit there generating these rewards, and until you have your buy-in amount back, right? Pull that out, and then you're basically playing with house money after that, and you can then reinvest your rewards back into it, or you could just reinvest from the beginning. It's up to you. But that's what some people do. They put a certain amount in, and then they wait till their rewards build up to that. They pull it out so that they know that they're covered for their initial buy-in is covered. And now they've not lost anything if this thing completely somehow disappears. And then from then on, they're playing with money that was generated, with funds that were generated within, and they've already taken out their initial buy-in in the form of these ether rewards. That's an intelligent way to go as well. And then at that point, even if the whole thing disappears, it's a paper loss. It's not a real loss. So think about that. That's pretty powerful. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'd appreciate if you check this thing out through my masternode, and give it a good consideration here, because this bear market has been killing us for the last few months, and I wish I had this thing from the beginning, because it's been a shining beacon throughout this tough time in the crypto market. And I'm also interested to see how it performs when things even get better in the crypto market. This is a great little community. The chat on Discord is awesome. It's funny. It provides a really great outlet during this time when YouTubers aren't really posting as much content because there's so much bad news in the crypto market. You don't know what's really going to happen as far as derivatives and banks and governments and taxes and all of that. So this community has really been a relief during these stressful crypto times. Okay, so check it out. Check it out. It's definitely worth checking out. And this is definitely not a lending platform. It just has certain qualities that, you know, might remind you a little bit of it, but it's not that. It's definitely not that. Just really think about this. Ponder this concept. That's all I can say. Ponder this whole concept of mining the weak hands, benefiting from the weak hands, benefiting from the volatility, and how it's all run by a smart contract, and not centralized in the hands of people. It's totally decentralized. And you probably come to the same conclusion I have, that this thing is definitely worth throwing some of your portfolio into. It's definitely a diversification strategy at the very least. All right, I hope you enjoyed this and some of this made sense and resonated with you. If it has, please like, subscribe, share. Also go to my website, techbait.net, for tech news and crypto news. And please check out my masternode link for proof of weak hands. You won't regret it.